would you like to introduce yourself, guys, and what you do as part of the library service team?
My name's Georgia and I work as one of the customer service assistants in the library at the University of Sunderland.
Perfect. Welcome, Georgia.
Hi, I'm Katie and I am a study skills advisor in the library skills team.
Welcome, Katie.
Hi, I'm Delphine and I'm one of the academic liaison librarian in the library.
Perfect. Well, welcome, Delphine. So could you go around your individual roles then and tell us a little bit what your roles are part of? What do they do? How do you help people? So I'll start with you, Delphine, actually.
Okay, so my role is to support students with their research skills and their information literacy skills. So generally, I talk to lecturers first. They invite me into their lectures to support students and introduce them to the library services. And then I might have one-to-one appointments with students as well to support them more individually with their research.
Perfect. So you're quite kind of hands-on with the students and helping them in.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. And I also kind of help provide the resources, so books, articles, you name it, that they need to support their work.
So if anyone needs you, they'll come to yourself then?
Yes.
It's okay.
So as a study skills advisor, myself and my colleagues, we work with students similar to Delphine in that we go into sessions with students and talk about specific study skills like referencing or critical thinking. And we're asked by academics to do that, but we also run masterclasses. So they are optional, like a delve into the fundamentals or a stretch session, depending on how people feel about their study skills.
Yep.
And we also offer online support every day to students on the library website as well.
Is that like a live chat service?
That is a live chat service,
Perfect.
yes.
And how do people get in touch with that then?
So by accessing the library website, there's an orange box in the corner on the library homepage that you can click on, and then
just say hi.
Just say hi, and you'll be connected to myself and my colleagues at the specific times that we're online.
Yep.
So do you want me to tell you what times
they are? Yeah.
So on Monday and Friday, it's 11:30 till 1. And from Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday, it is between 3:30 and 4:30.
Perfect. Thank you very much. That's the times you need to be at. And yourself, Georgia?
So I work as quite a large team. There's 14 customer service assistants and we work across the 4 library spaces within the student journey. And our team are the team that you're going to meet at the help desks, and they're the initial support that you're going to receive when you come into the library. So anyone who has any quick questions, need help finding resources, whether it be physical or online, we're hopefully the friendly faces that they come in to see in one of the library spaces when they come. We can help with a lot of the queries that they might have, but we can also signpost as well if they need different services throughout the student journey or throughout the library services as well. So we often work with our librarian team and study skills to signpost the students.
Perfect. What's the main kind of query you get if you're sat at the desk?
We get a lot of how to find a book on the shelf. Mm-hmm. So we get a lot of questions about that. We can also help with some IT queries, some printing queries, and just general signposting for students who might need help with maybe their books on a reading list or some of the content in Canvas as well.
Perfect. So kind of like it's quite hands-on, but like say interacting with students quite a bit, but more supplying the help in person to them as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just that friendly face that they can actually access in person, and like I say, there's always someone there during our help desk hours who can help them with whatever query they might have.
Amazing. And obviously you mentioned there's a few different library spots all over the course of the campus. Whereabouts are you guys individually based then?
So I'm based at both libraries, so at St Peter's Library and at Murray Library, and we offer one-to-one appointments with students as well, and they can be at either library on either campus or on Teams as well.
Okay, perfect. So if someone needs to be...
depending on what students want and what course they're studying as well.
Yeah, perfect. Yourself?
Okay, so I'm based at the St Peter's campus. I tend to be in the David Goldman section of the library. That's because the students I support are from the School of Education, so that's where I am. But the other liaison librarians who all have a dedicated subject area will be based where their students are. So some will be in Murray Library and some will be with me in David Goldman.
Perfect.
So there's a library help point at the Murray Library, at St Peter's Library and the Library at David Goldman. So we staff those help points between 9 and 7:30 Monday to Thursday and 9 till 5 Monday to Friday. And St Peter's Library is staffed on a Saturday, and Murray Library is staffed on a Sunday. And we do have a library space as well in Pasteur Building. We don't have a help point there, but staff are available to pop over, and we do circulate when we can in that space as well.
Perfect. So you just kind of spread everywhere across the university.
Yeah.
Is there anywhere like you like? What's your favourite spot?
Well, I actually quite like the David Goldman space. You know, it's brand new, it's fresh, and there's all of those little spots where you can go and hide a bit.
Yeah. Okay, so have a nice little quiet
those
spot.
locked room. Yeah, that's quite good.
Yeah.
I think that's why I quite like the St Peter's Library, because there's some lovely views of the river as well. Depending on where you sit there, you can find a nice quiet space to sit and work. It's lovely.
I'll tell you somewhere I found a few weeks back, actually. It was basically, I can't remember the name of it. You might be able to help me out here, actually. It was a tiny little quiet room that was almost like down underground, but it was like surrounded by kind of like, it was in St Peter's campus. It was like a nice little, tiny little room. There was no one in there. It was completely silent. And it was just downstairs. Whereabouts would that be? Do you remember what it would be called?
It'll probably be in the Catherine Cookson reading room.
That's the one. That's the one. Thank you very much. Yeah, I couldn't remember the name of it.
That's where our law collection is based.
Yes.
But it's a lovely room to have some quiet study time.
It was very quiet.
Yeah.
It was very nice. Yeah, very nice little spot. So that may be my little spot if I was going to go anywhere. But do you have a little favourite spot as well?
I really like in summer, this time of year, being at Murray Library when we can sit and watch all the bunnies.
Oh, of course, yes.
They're very cute. So yeah, this time of year is really nice to be at Murray Library, and you get to see, when it's sunny, all the bunnies in the fields. So I think it's a lovely spot downstairs to watch those.
Very wholesome. Can you tell us, obviously we've gone over some of the services you guys do offer kind of to everyone. What are some of the services that students may not be aware of? Some of the ones that kind of don't maybe get used as much, but might just be as handy to those students?
So as the customer service team, we offer a 24/7 live chat. I know Katie's mentioned it for the study skills, but the customer service team have that 24/7, and it's not a chatbot, it's not AI. Anytime the help desk is open, it'll be library staff physically reading the messages and replying. And outside of help desk hours, we have some librarians who work as co-op librarians. And again, they are all human beings, and they answer the chats when we're not there. So, and anything they can't answer will get referred back to us, and we'll pick it up as an email the next day. So students are always going to get sort of that support 24/7.
So there's always somebody available.
There is always someone available. And like Katie said, it's an orange chat box. It pops out on every single library page. So it's really accessible all the time with the students.
Nice and easy then.
I guess, and that's probably kind of going to link with the study skills. It's the awareness of the one-to-one appointments. I mean, you know, it's on our webpage and etc. But I think this is still something that could be used more for students. And I think especially with the liaison librarian, I don't think they necessarily know that they can have those appointments.
Of course, yeah. On those one-to-one appointments then, can you tell us a little bit more about them? I know we've touched on them a couple of times. What kind of, if I was to go ahead and I was going to book a one-to-one appointment, what kind of services would I get? What kind of help would I receive?
So it would depend whether you'd have an appointment with a liaison librarian or with a study skills advisor. So if it were with a liaison librarian, you'd get help with kind of dedicated support for your assignment on specific topics that you're bringing to the librarian, who can then help you kind of identify resources and kind of work through the system. Some of the databases that we're using needs a little bit of training for the students to get used to them and to know where to find things. We also can guide them on, you know, where it is you need to look for things, but what it is you need to look for, and kind of getting those skills around how you do research, really. So that's the sort of things academically a librarian would be helping their students with.
Okay.
And I'll pass over to Katie.
Yes. So if you attend a one-to-one appointment with a study skills advisor, you will say which module you'd like to talk about. So if it is and you can also say what particular area you'd like to focus on, whether that be, you know, referencing or critical thinking, or like kind of a general overview of your assignment. We can look at a small section of your assignment and talk about how how you could work on it, maybe make your language a bit more formal, that kind of thing, and hopefully go away and use those skills and apply that to the rest of your assignment.
Perfect.
So the assignment is led by the student, really.
Yeah.
So depending on what they
with...
need, absolutely. Yeah. So they can come to us with what they need, and you can have up to 2 appointments per assignment. So that might help. So you could come at different stages during the assignment writing process, whether it be the planning stage or if you want to talk about feedback, something like that. So it depends what you need.
It's definitely a service I wished I'd taken up when I was at university as well. Then, what you guys say is your favourite thing about working as part of the library service team? What's this one thing that stands out, a nice feeling that you get from it? What would you say?
I think for me, I really like talking to people. And kind of
always a good thing.
Yeah. Well, it does help. We do a lot of talking, but I think for me, it's the feedback when somebody says after we've had a bit of a chat in a one-to-one appointment, and they've said, "Oh, okay, that really kind of clicks." That moment, you know,
the moment they realise, what you've supplied has actually helped.
And then they're saying, just that kind of feedback is really rewarding, and it makes it's a really positive feeling. I really enjoy that.
Yeah, I think I would agree with that. The kind of relationship you build with the students during those appointments, and I also like, because a lot of the time the students kind of use one-to-one with librarians when they come to their dissertation projects. And that's really interesting because you get to see what the students are doing and learn about their area of research. That's really interesting as well.
To get almost like a little bit of an insight to what they're learning about, and you get to learn a little bit about yourself as well. Is there any that's maybe stood out to yourself that you remember?
Well, there's quite a range of different things, but there's one student who was working on kind of children behavior, but he was in an international school in China, and so you had to think about the kind of cultural differerences in terms of, you know, what kids are expected to do, what schools are expected to do, and that was really interesting to kind of have that chat about how the literature could help him as well, kind of engage with that.
Do you learn all this new stuff as well? So even better.
Yeah, that was good.
And yourself?
I think I really enjoy the kind of aspect of helping people. Like you say, it's really rewarding seeing someone struggling with something, and then actually at the end of it, you've really simplified it for them and they've got what they needed out of it. But we have such a varied job as well. It's like we say, we work over different campuses, different sites, and we see lots and lots of different students from lots of different courses. So having that variety keeps it really interesting, exciting, and it really does make you feel good when you are making a difference to students.
And that's it. It's making a difference to these students that might be kind of at that point where they're thinking, really, I'm really struggling with it. And that little bit of help you give, and that little tweak to maybe their assignment is what could like send them to the point where they go, actually, I get it. I know what I'm doing now. So yeah, it's a rewarding feeling, and you've all kind of relayed that as well as so far. For the next one then, we'd mentioned about the chat box, obviously the 24-hour service you supply. What other ways you can get in contact with the University Library Service then? I know it's obviously, like I said, there is the live chat. Is a number? Is there social media services that you guys run?
Do you want to take that one?
My area. Yeah, so we do. We have a contact number, and again, the customer service team are manning the phones during our help desk hours. We don't have phone lines outside of help desk. Obviously, we prefer to chat for that. And also, we just encourage students to come and see us at the help desk.
Yep.
We can, even with kind of the one-to-one bookings, although you book them online, we can actually help people, support people filling out the forms and things at the help desk. So yeah, we can see people at the help desk. We have a phone number. We do have social medias as well. So we have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
And is there any, between you guys, is there any kind of tips that you'd have to students who are getting to that point of deadline season, assignment season? Is there any tips that you guys would like to share?
Use the appointment services.
I would encourage you to have a look in the study skills section on the library website, because there are online resources there as well. If you've booked an appointment and you're waiting for your appointment, or if you kind of, it depends what you need really. There's information about, planning your assignments, referencing, and other areas of study skills that could provide a positive starting point.
Perfect. Spot on.
I think we'd love students as well to just let us know if they are needing a bit of help, because
Yeah.
we can't help them if
Absolutely.
they don't come and tell us
Not
that they
mind
need a bit
readers.
of help. Yeah, we're not mind readers. And there's like I say, there's so many good resources across our website, and our staff team are really knowledgeable. But if we don't know that people need help, then we can't help them. So yeah, encourage them to come and see us or come and chat to us, and then we can point them in the right direction.
Sometimes that is the hardest thing, isn't it? It's being able to admit you're going to go, I'm going to actually need some help with that. Sometimes that is the most difficult stage of it. So yeah, I can understand why some students may struggle, but you do encourage them to actually go, yes, I need this little bit of a hand with it, and you guys are always there as well.
Yeah.
And final question then, guys. Is there anything you'd like to promote from the services? We obviously mentioned some of the services previously. Is there anything else you'd like to promote about the library services?
I know I've mentioned the masterclasses before, but for me, it would be the masterclasses.
Tell us a little bit about those.
Yeah, so at the moment, it's a rolling programme of study skills support open to all students at the university, with stretch and fundamentals programmes, and they are currently running based on different study skills such as assignment planning, referencing, critical thinking, and we're always open to suggestions. If people have other suggestions for things that they would like for us to include, we run them. Each masterclass runs at different campuses, and also there is an online Teams class for each one as well. Yeah,
Right, very accessible then.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess there's a service because part of my role is to also, as I said, buy the collections for the students and make sure they have the resources, and students have access to suggest a book service. So on the website, they can click on the button and suggest books that they might need for their assignments, and that might be helpful in kind of supporting them, through dissertations, through projects. So that's a good service, and that also helps liaison librarians to kind of know what is the need.
What's needed, yeah. There's always improving the service going forward. Spot on.
I'm going to promote some of our kind of physical resources that we have. So we have 2 new library spaces. Like we've mentioned, David Goldman is brand new, and Pasteur Library Space is brand new as well. So they're really nice places to study. And within those spaces, we have laptops that students can borrow. We can do same-day laptop loans and 7-day laptop loans as well. And we have bookable study rooms of various different sizes and spaces and facilities in each room that students might use when they're looking at doing assignments, group works, presentations that they can use as well. So yeah, check out some of our new kind of physical spaces.
Spot on. Guys, thank you very much for coming on. That's been really insightful. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Cheers.